Hello and good morning, everyone. Welcome to my subscribe live stream about Ielts exam. It's Saturday morning here in the UK and our local time is 7:59 a.m. As you might be aware, my classes, honestly, all the Hallo teachers classes start one time and finished after an hour. Regardless, if you're late, if you don't join, then you may have missed the class. However, the classes would be recorded and saved underneath the teacher's account. So if you have subscribed to any teacher but you couldn't join, possibly you will have the opportunity to go to the teacher's profile to see it. However, it depends on your subscription as well, because if you have subscribed on a free trial basis where you'll get 2 lessons freely, most probably you'll not be able to see it because you're not the subscriber of the teacher anymore. Davis, remember that Hallo has the offer for you to get 2 free lessons from any teacher. Try to use it so you don't have to pay anything at all. But if you think that these classes are really helpful or supportive by nature, possibly you may consider to join the teachers in the class. In that case, you have to use your money, which is $16. Okay, I'm going to give you some insight, and give me one quick second, guys. And this lesson, most of my students have joined on a free trial basis. So it will be a good idea for you if you subscribe to a teacher, because sometimes as a student you don't know whether your writings are correct or not. Sometimes you're not aware whatever you're saying is grammatically correct or not, because when you're speaking, your pronunciation is one of the parts. There are 4 major parts when you're speaking. An examiner should assess. Number 1, your fluency and coherence. And fluency is the speed or the rhythm, like water rhythm, the way someone speaks. Not too fast, not too slow. So it's medium speed, okay? And coherence is the technique when you link one sentence to another and explain step by step only about the topic, which is really pretty cool. Bear in mind that In order to develop your fluency or speaking technique, you need to know a few things. Number one, vocab. Number two, grammar rules. Number three, practice it. Finding a speaking partner. It could be a student, it could be a teacher, or it could be anyone else outside of your friend circle. Remember that the more you speak, the more you will be expert. Practice gives you confidence. Practice increases your inspiration to learn more. Practice makes you a tremendous way to develop yourself. I don't say practice makes you perfect because no one is perfect, guys, in this world, okay? Even the natives are not perfect either. And do you think that teaching English is very easy? No, it is not. If it were easy, every American or British would be an English teacher, but in fact they're not. In order to be a teacher, you must have certain level of education, experience, and also amazing teaching methods through which you can help others, through which you can help each and every person of your society, of your country, or maybe through online. Okay, so today we're going to give some highlights about academic writing and reading. So carry on watching, guys. So IELTS reading. As you might be aware, there are two types of IELTS exam: IELTS academic and IELTS general test. They both are different in reading and writing part. And to the fact, academic reading and academic writing are really harder and difficult. If you don't know the rubrics, if you don't know the rules, if you don't know the procedure, if you don't know how to write a paragraph correctly, then it will be difficult for you to attain and develop a good structure and get good score. And I remember that many of my students got 8.5 in reading, and someone got 9 as well. Some people, sorry. So remember that it's just a matter of practice of understanding. How can we be a good reader? That is the challenging question very often students ask. In order to be a good reader, you need to know different kinds of vocabulary. That is really vital part to be a good speaker. And you have to have the interest to read more. You have to have the capacity to understand while you read. Don't read just for the sake of reading. If you don't understand anything, there's no point of reading. And that is the basic part of the IELTS exam on the reading section. You're reading something blindly, A to Z, but you didn't understand anything at all. How are you going to answer now? Okay. Hey, Dishant, welcome. Thanks for your subscription. So it is very important being an English learner to understand the words, the reading paragraphs, and the vocabs. Okay. So Dishant, I have invited you. If you have got time, maybe you can join me. But if you haven't, that's fine. It's totally after you. I don't have anything to say. And you have joined on a free trial, I can see that. Remember that if you have joined on a free trial, it's better for you to take the lessons because you'll get only 2 lessons, today and tomorrow. And what happens after that? If you think that the lessons are helpful or supportive, you may consider to continue to subscribe to me, or you can choose any other thing of your own. There are many native teachers, but not everyone teaches grammar. Only a few teachers, rare I should say, teaches grammar and IELTS exam. Luckily, I'm one of them. Okay, so as I was explaining, IELTS academic writing. So in IELTS academic reading, I'm sorry, not writing, there are 3 big paragraphs and there are 40 questions an hour. Whereas in general test, there will be 5 small paragraphs, again 40 questions. And we are going to give some insights how you can get good score and how you can, sorry. You can get your required score. As you can see from the shared screen, in academic writing, there are 3 paragraphs. General test, 5 paragraphs. Duration, 60 minutes. So you'll get an hour time to answer all these questions. And there are 40 questions in 3 divided pairs. That is very important. Remember, dear viewers, IELTS exam is a time-controlled exam. Students say that if there is no time limitation, I could answer all of them. That's right. I also believe you. But you have to have that capacity to answer all of them quickly. That is the reason why it is called test or exam. Okay, so here it is once again. Academic reading, 3 paragraphs. General test reading, 5 paragraphs. Durations, 60 minutes. Questions, 40 questions and 3 divided parts. And what kind of questions they ask? Generally, these are the question types: multiple choice question, MCQ. So it says select the one answer by reading the paragraph, just follow the keywords. It will be easy to find the answer. Which means that your sentence or information may be restated or paraphrased in a different way in the question. So you need to find out the matching answer or the matching information. So how we can find it, that is the amazing part. Remember that an IELTS exam, you have to be good reader, quick reader and speedy reader, I should say. So because there are 40 questions and literally you'll get for every question 1.5 minutes, which is 90 seconds. So it's better for you to read quickly and find out the answer. However, there are 3 techniques we use very often to get the answer. Number 1, conventional technique or method. So conventional method always explains if there are, say, 20 lines and 5 questions. So you divide the lines by the questions, which is 20 by 5, and the answer is 4, which means that according to the conventional method, the first question answer should be the first 4 lines. Second question should be second 4 line, and so on. Okay. And the next method is scanning method. In order to, apply the scanning method, we need to understand what does it mean. If you understand the scan means, you look quickly. So go to the questions fast and find out the keyword, what they are asking. Is it a time? Is it a person? Or is it specific information? So underline if you find the person, or underline the time or the specific information. Then you go through the questions. Bear in mind that, once again, it's a time control exam. You have to do it quickly. You have to be proactive. You have to be good reader. You have to also have good knowledge about vocabs. Because in every IELTS exam, in reading part, there are few new words. I do not expect that you're going to know all the meaning, but from the context or content, you may guess the meaning, and you may find the closest meaning, and that is really an important part of IELTS exam. Okay, then next one is skimming method. Skimming means when you read a paragraph, you need to understand what it says. So it's like you're getting the summary or the main concept or the headline, you can say. Okay. The next question is matching sentence ending. Just match the ending information with the starting of the sentence. You could be confused to find it because most of the information is paraphrased by the author. True, false, not given. That is another important part in reading. This kind of question is a little tricky and most students find it difficult to solve it. If the author says exactly the same information given in the paragraph, then it is true. If the statement is contradictory, then it is false. And paragraph, if the information is not given in the paragraph, then it will be not given. So remember, if the information is not found in the chapter, then it is not given. Okay. If it is the same matching information, that is true. If it doesn't match, but it contradicts the answer, then it is false. Okay. Sorry. Similarly, yes, not, not given. These are somewhat similar. True, false, not given. Then diagram completion and level a diagram question. So that might be some paragraph or diagram or a photo or a process. Sometimes they can ask. The diagram is based on the information provided in the paragraph. It could be process chart, mechanism, or flow chart. Excuse me. There is space and you have to write the words in between them. Fill in the blanks. Very important. Blanks are the easiest part of reading. Just read the paragraph and find the answer. Okay, here is the biggest, challenging question. And some questions you'll be able to see do not write more than 2 words. So if they restrict like this, do not write more than 2 words. Even if you write 3 or 4 words, write words. Okay, it will be treated as a not compliant. Okay, reading techniques, conventional, I have explained. What's the main message, topic, heading, headline, title of this paragraph? Go through the scanning technique quickly to find specific details within the passage. To have a look quickly and underline the required information. For example, date and time, place and location. Skimming technique is to find a general overview of the passage. Go through all the questions and the keywords, phrases. Skim text by reading the building. Okay. So, number 3, read the question number 1. Scan the text, find the answer. Okay. Go to the question 2, repeat. So these are some techniques through which you will be able to answer the questions whilst reading. Let me see if there are any other reading techniques or not. One moment, guys. I'm just finding this. One moment, guys. Okay, so these are other question types as well. We have explained multiple choice, information identification, information matching, headline matching, or heading matching, sentence completion, summary completion, matching, matching sentences endings, short answer, matching information. Okay, and there's British Council's okay, let me share it now. Reading, IELTS reading.
So you've decided to take the IELTS exam. Great choice. It's the test that opens doors around the world. These are the key details of the IELTS reading test. The test includes 40 questions spread over 3 articles. You have a total of 60 minutes for the reading test. Unlike the IELTS listening, there is no additional time to transfer answers, so write these directly onto your answer sheet as you proceed through the test. Read the instructions very carefully. Be familiar with the different question types. Here's some advice to prepare for the reading test. Practice reading skills, such as skimming. Skimming means looking over an article or paragraph to identify the key themes or general ideas. This includes paying attention to titles, subtitles, keywords, and topic sentences. Scanning. Scanning is when you are looking for specific information, perhaps a number, or a name, or a date. If you know the specific type of answer you need to find, you don't need to read every word in the article. For example, if you know you need to find out how much money something costs, run your eyes quickly down the article, looking for a number with a currency indicator. Then decide if this is referring to what you were looking for. Skimming provides a bird's eye view of some material. Scanning helps you swoop down to locate the specific details you need. Another key skill is intensive reading. This helps you to understand the details in an article. When you practice reading tests, don't read an article intensively to start with. This is a common mistake. First, skim the article quickly. Get a sense for what the subject of the article is and look at the title, any headings or diagrams. Read the first sentence of each paragraph to determine the theme of each paragraph. Make notes around the article as you do this. Then, read with specific purpose. Read the questions and be clear what you are looking for. Once you have skimmed and scanned, you are prepared to analyze the questions carefully, circling keywords and thinking of synonyms for those keywords. Don't expect to find the exact same words in the article. Then, use your scanning and skimming skills to home in on the right paragraph in the article. Here, you'll need to read in detail to find the specific answer to each question. To improve your reading skills, read as much as you can. Anything you read in English is good practice, and the more variety, the better. There are no shortcuts or secret techniques. You will only improve with time, practice, and persistence. For more information on IELTS, please see our other videos on speaking, writing, and listening.
Okay, so there's the reading part. I'm sure you have understood all of this explanation. All right, let me see what's the next one. Possibly I'm going to show you an example. Okay, okay, it is that. There is a reading part, but how about the general reading? It's all about the Mongol Empire. You can see, write no more than one word from that text. So, which means that when you're reading, you must choose the most suitable word that matches here on this blank. The Mongol Empire had humble beginnings on the vast grasslands and plains of northern Asia. The grasslands are part of a region known today as the Eurasian steppe. The steppe is known for its severe climate and extreme temperatures. In spring, there is plenty of food for horses and sheep, but spring on the steppe is short. In summer, the sun beats down and temperatures can reach 40 degrees Celsius, turning the grass to straw. In winter, the ground is covered with a thick blanket of snow, and rising winds sweep across the plains, pushing temperature as low as minus 40 degrees Celsius. Short, hot summers and long cold winters made life hard for the Mongols and had a major influence on the way in which their society evolved and was organized. Okay, if you see, complete the summary. Write no more than one word from the text. The Mongol Empire is famous for being associated with its location on the dash, and dash means the blank. It's famous for its dash, which can see a great range in temperature from extremely cold to incredibly hot. This had a great influence on the evolution and organize of the what? Okay, let's read it. So the Mongol Empire had humble beginnings on the vast grasslands and plains of northern Asia. These grasslands are part of a region known today as the Eurasian steppe. The steppe is known for severe climate and extreme temperature. Okay, so as you can see from the paragraph, the Mongol Empire had humble beginnings in the vast grasslands at the plains of northern Asia. So the Mongol Empire is famous for being associated with its location on steppe. The spring in the spring there is plenty of food for horses and sheep, but spring on the steppe is short. In summer, the sun beats down and temperatures can reach 40 degrees Celsius, turning the grass to straw. In winter, the ground is covered with a thick blanket of snow, and raging winds sweep across the plains, pushing temperature as low as minus 40 degrees Celsius. Short, hot summers and long, cold winters made their life hard for the Mongols and had a major influence on the way in which their society evolved and was organized. Okay, so you can see the Mongol Empire is famous for being associated with its location on the steppe and also famous for its organization, which can see a great range of temperature and extremely cold to incredibly hot. This had great influence on the evolution organizing of the Mongolians. So it's a bit difficult though it seems to be, but it is part of the reading test of IELTS general test. Okay guys, so this is just one an examples how you have to understand when you read, and reading is very important. Now the matter is that time is an important factor because IELTS exam is always based on time. Okay, so next one is cue card. Okay, so remember that IELTS exam is an amazing test for you to migrate or study in the English-speaking countries. Not everyone needs the IELTS exam. If you have a different plan about your life or academic studies or migration, then you might not need to sit for the exam. Some people sit for it to understand, to assess the level or quality. Okay, so cue card is the second part of the part two of our speaking task. And before that, I'd like to share a video about this because you can see there are four parts in speaking in IELTS exam is where your marks would be distributed: fluency and coherence, lexical resources, grammatical range and accuracy, and pronunciation. You may have noticed there is no marks of accent. And basically, in the Western countries, nobody bothers about your accent, but they are worried about your pronunciation, which is very important factor. If you don't know how to pronounce a word correctly, most probably you'll be ended up having a fake accent or wrong pronunciation. So do not go after any kind of accent, guys. So let me share you the video from the British Council. Okay, fluency and coherence. What do you understand by this?
So, you've decided to take the IELTS exam. Congratulations! Success starts with IELTS. The speaking test is divided into three sections. Part 1 is the introduction and general questions. Part 2 is the long turn. And Part 3 is an analytical discussion. It's important to understand the criteria on which you will be tested in the IELTS exam.
Mm-hmm.
First, we consider the criteria of fluency and coherence. This is one of 4 criteria on which you will be tested. We'll cover the other 3 in later videos. Fluency and coherence refer to your ability to speak at length, including organizing ideas logically and appropriately signposting.
Okay.
It also refers to your ability to express and justify opinions and to discuss and speculate about issues without long pauses or repetition of the same words.
Mm-hmm.
Signposting is the use of words or phrases that indicate the direction of your thoughts. We will give you some examples of this in a moment. Many students try memorizing large portions of speech to repeat during the speaking test, but this can add unnecessary stress and sound unnatural. We don't recommend this approach. Here are a few tips to improve your speaking test performance. As you are speaking about a topic, build on your point of view by adding a few details.
Mm-hmm.
For example, if the question is, "What do you do?" rather than responding with, "I am a teacher," you might expand this to, "I have been a high school mathematics teacher in New York for over 5 years." For part 2 of the test, use the bullet points on the task card to help you structure your long turn and make notes in the 1 minute that's given using key words.
Mm-hmm.
In part 3 particularly, it is important to develop your answers and to speak at length. You can do this by thinking of reasons, effects, comparisons, supporting examples, and personal experience. Just make sure you are signposting what you say. For example, discussing excessive TV watching, you might mention reasons: increasing numbers of TV channels compared to a generation ago, and the popularity of TV characters. Effects: increasing obesity levels, eyesight problems, and other health issues. Experience: my nephew watches nothing except cartoons. He will not study. Here are some examples of signposting for part 3 of the test. Compare contrast. In my view, there are 2 main differences. Responding to a point. Yes, I agree because, or I'm not sure I agree with that. You see, speculating on the future. I think we'll probably see a lot of, or maybe there'll be more, or it's unlikely that we will have. Practice is the key to increasing your fluency. There are no shortcuts.
Mm-hmm.
Practice using English in everyday communication as much as you can. Record yourself talking about different subjects. Then play it back and listen for linking expressions, hesitation, words you may be repeating, and times when your speech is slow. This will help improve your fluency. The assessment criteria is the only thing on which you will be tested. You will not be assessed on your appearance, body language while speaking in the exam, or your creative ideas. IELTS examiners are very consistent with their application of the IELTS assessment criteria. It is the same assessment given everywhere in the country and everywhere in the world. For more information, please see the other speaking test videos, Lexical Resources, Grammatical Range and Accuracy, and Pronunciation.
Great. So that is only an introductory video how we can get good marks in this part, fluency and coherence. I'm sure you've understood all this as plain and simple explanations. That when you're giving examples, make it personal. Okay, so um, fluency and coherence has been covered. As you can see, we will get 25% marks on how you can interact with the examiner or answer any question while even you're not taking the IELTS exam. This type of exercise or the test really helps you fit for job interview as well. If you attend a job interview and you'll be asked different kind of questions. So we've got few examples last time. Okay, we're coming back pronunciation later. Let's move on. Lexical resources, which is vocabs.
So, you've decided to take the IELTS exam. Great choice. It's the test that opens doors around the world. Here, we look at the criteria of Lexical Resource. This is one of 4 criteria on which you will be tested. Look for the other 3 criteria in other videos. Lexical Resource focuses on the range of vocabulary a candidate uses. The wider the range, the better you will score. You will need to understand these factors to score well on the test. The ability to use vocabulary effectively, including the right collocation, that is, words naturally used together. For instance, lions roar. Lions do not shout. Alternatively, we make a phone call. We do not do a phone call. An awareness of connotation. This refers to the positive, neutral, or negative association some words have. For example, laid back, positive; inactive, neutral; lazy, negative; slim, thin, skinny. The use of less common vocabulary or expressions. Many candidates memorize impressive lists of vocabulary, but often end up using them in the wrong way because they haven't understood them properly. To improve your vocabulary, we recommend these steps. Always try to learn new vocabulary when reading in English. Look out for new words. Seeing words in their context helps you learn the meaning, usage, and collocation. Online newspapers are a good resource. These can also help you keep up on the vocabulary of current affairs. Group new vocabulary into related subjects and learn these together, rather than making long lists of unrelated words. For example, make a list of words about sports. Using mind maps often helps with this. Learn more synonyms. These are words or expressions which have a similar meaning. Knowledge of synonyms will help with all parts of the IELTS test. Try using a thesaurus. Make small word cards with a word written on one side of the card and the translation and an example sentence on the other side. You can then test yourself. Practice is the key. Not to memorize, but to practice discussing different topics, weaving in the vocabulary you have learned. Research shows practice improves test scores. Don't give up if you can't find the right word. Keep trying to explain what you mean, even if it takes a little longer. This is called paraphrasing. You will get credit for this. IELTS speaking tests include general everyday topics. Specialist knowledge isn't expected. The topics are relevant to all of the 135 countries in which IELTS is used. For more information, please see the other speaking test videos: Fluency and Coherence, Grammatical Range and Accuracy, and Pronunciation.
Okay, guys, there is Lexical Resource, which is another part. So this will be the last part today for grammar.
So, you've decided to take the IELTS exam. Good for you. It's the test for study, work, and life. The IELTS speaking test is divided into 3 sections. Part 1 is an introduction and general questions. Part 2 is the long turn. And Part 3 is an analytical discussion. Here we look at the criteria of grammatical range and accuracy. Look for the other 3 criteria in other videos. This criteria focuses on the range and accuracy of the test taker's grammar while speaking. Look for our accompanying downloads for examples of the range of grammatical structure. The range of grammar includes using a variety of complex structures. These are sentences with multiple bits of information. Contrast that to separate, simple sentences with a single piece of information. For example, just beside the station was a stadium which was built in the 19th century and where games are now held every weekend. It isn't expected that candidates are 100% accurate. However, control is important. The Band 7 definition for grammatical range and accuracy says frequently produces error-free sentences, though some grammatical mistakes persist. It's not just the number of grammatical mistakes, but also how seriously these mistakes block communication. To improve your grammar, take these steps. Be prepared. Make sure that you know the speaking test format and what type of questions to expect in each section. Many tasks in Part 2 of the IELTS speaking test relate to the past, so you most likely use past tenses. Ensure you know the past tenses of common verbs. Some questions in Part 3 ask you to speculate about the future, so use the right tenses in the answers to reflect this. Look out for the British Council's Johnny Grammar apps and videos that can help explain the commonly used tenses for you. Practice. Particularly think about the tenses you use. Ensure these relate to the questions. If the question asked is, "What did you do at work today?" the main word here is did, which is in the past tense, so your answer should be in the past tense too. For example, today I wrote a business brief. Don't worry if you realize you've made a mistake. It's okay to correct yourself. Record yourself speaking and listen to identify errors. IELTS results range from band scores of 1 to 9. However, there are not specific questions for different band scores, and there can't be, as the score isn't assigned until the end speaking test. Also, remember there are no quotas for IELTS band scores. Each individual is scored on their own merits. For more information, please see the other speaking test videos: Fluency and Coherence, Lexical Resource and Accuracy, and Pronunciation.
Okay, guys. So that's the part of you know IELTS exams. Please remember that these are the parts of a speaking task. Okay, so In the speaking section, task 1, which is general questions and conversations, task 2 is the cue card, where you'll be given the topic and you'll be asked to speak at least 2 minutes about the topic. And task 3 is the advanced and more analytical answers. Bear in mind that once again, you need to have good practice and good ideas how these questions are asked and how you can answer it. And some important features of from this video is that if the question is from past tense, you must use past tense regardless whatever you try to answer. If the question is in present tense, you must use present tense. The question is based on future tense, you have to speculate the future tense. Or if the question is a conditional or any other situation where you have to demonstrate your understanding of grammar, you must answer it correctly. IELTS exam is not only the knowing English, it's also knowing the rubrics, and you must understand about the rubrics. And only you can get this rubrics concept from a subscribed lessons, not from any open live stream. So guys, that would be the ending of my today's lesson. And thank you very much once again for joining. It's really my pleasure to see new people. Once again, people who have subscribed on free trial lessons, please hop on, talk to me. Otherwise, you're going to lose the lesson as the classes will not be repeated. Once you attend 2 lessons, then your subscription is over. You will not be able to be the part of the subscriber chat as well. Okay. But if you think that the class is helpful and you need to continue subscription, you're more than welcome. And you'll be here with me for a month and you can participate other live streams freely. Alright guys, so once again, thank you very much for joining and I hope to see you soon. Okay, and you take care and bye.